Board of Legacy Community Health. First of all, I want to thank the Montrose Center for co-hosting this event with us tonight. We want to memorialize and pay tribute to the 100 LGBT Americans who were massacred or maimed yesterday in the terrorist attack in Orlando. On behalf of Legacy, whose roots in the Houston LGBT community go back to the 1980s, our condolences go out to those in Orlando. And for those here in Houston who may be or who will be rattled by all of this, we are here for grief counseling. I found it helpful to remind myself and others that at its core, yesterday's unconscionable attack, yet again, was about terrorism. Its purpose was to instill terror in a community. Fear is the currency, and if we succumb, they win. So every single one of us, not just the LGBT community, but all Americans should rub freedom in their face. Express your diversity and your freedom as an American and as an LGBT Houstonian. Many of us do this every day. Now we should do it even more. I say the best way to conquer anti-Americanism and anti-LGBT hate, whether it was displayed in Orlando or yesterday at LA Pride, is for Houston to have the biggest, baddest pride ever. On Saturday, June 25th, let's make history. Show the haters we value diversity, freedom, and equality. These are the bedrock principles no terrorist can take from us. So I can't wait to see every one of you at Pride on Saturday, June 25th. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. It's absolutely amazing to see so many people here in our community here today. And my name is Gary Wood. I sit on the board of the Montrose Center. I'm the president of Outreach United. I also am the co-chair and co-founder of the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce, and I sit on one of the largest recruiting trade organizations in the state here in Houston. And one of the great things about being very connected in our community is that I can reach out to other community leaders and my friends and say, I need you here today. I need you here to make a statement. Along this rail, you will see community leaders that are here today to make a statement. And one of the very first ones that I would like to introduce is the President for Out for Education, Bryan Hlavinka.
Thank you all for coming. My name is Bryan Hlavinka. I'm here tonight on behalf of myself and behalf of the Out for Education Board of Directors. Our tagline, for those of you unfamiliar with us, is investing in the future of Houston's LGBT youth. That is what I keep thinking about with Orlando over these past 2 days. These were all people who had futures tragically cut short. These were all people who had, many of them were the age of our college recipients, young men and women with bright futures and ideas to contribute to our world. Those futures were taken from them for no other reason than being at a gay bar on a Saturday night. The future of their families and friends are now filled with grief and sorrow. There will forever be a hole in the lives of their mothers, their fathers, their siblings, their friends and loved ones. Their lives changed too that night. We may not know the victims personally, but we know them in spirit. They are the group who I have brunch with every weekend. They are the people we invite to our homes for a dinner party. They are the friends you call when you have good news, and they are the people who support you when you have bad news. Their absences will be felt. As a community, we are coming together tonight to mourn this loss, but as visuals across the country are happening, to also remind everyone that we have a voice. We have a presence and a right to live in this country without fear. As we reflect on the futures cut short, we must also look to the future of our community. We've made great progress in the past decade, but there's still much work to be done. Seeing all of the organizations represented here tonight reminds me that this community is united and that we will never stop fighting for our future.
Although I wear many hats, I also have another one. I'm a businessman, and I'm an employer here in the United States, in most states. Being the president of Outreach United, it is our mission to bring understanding to the LGBT community, to have that voice and that visual that they see us as part of every community. But the other side that I'd like to, and the hat that I'd like to put on today is one of the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to share with you an excerpt from a note that I sent to our LGBT Chamber of Commerce in Orlando. The Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce is overwhelmed with sadness at the violent and senseless attack at the Pulse nightclub. We mourn for the victims and their families. Our hearts go out to all those who are affected by this tragedy, as well as the entire LGBT community in Orlando. Know that Houston stands with you, that tonight our community is coming out to hold a vigil that would have all of Orlando in our thoughts and prayers. This violent act is yet another tragic reminder of the work that must continue in order to ensure protections for the LGBT community and reinforces the need for inclusion and full equality. But unlike in the past, we do not stand alone. Even before I walked in my office today, I had messages from many companies expressing sorrow. I also had an incredible message from the Asian Chamber of Commerce and the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, who stands with us here today. And unlike before, every LGBT Chamber of Commerce in Texas that represents the LGBT businesses and corporate sponsors that support our community immediately got together to create a statement of support and unity. This is different, in a different time than we had any time before, and we only had each other to rely upon. Today we have an incredible allies that unite us with their solidarity and stand by us in our moments of pain. But there's still work to be done. I challenge everybody to get involved in the community and remember those advocates and allies who are there for us when we face these horrific challenges. Stay loyal to those companies that support our community and fight against bias legislation. But most importantly, and I say this as a proud gay man who lives in Houston, Texas, to our community. And as our president said yesterday with no acronyms, I say to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community and to our allies, do not succumb to fear. Do not allow others to distract you with messages of negativity. Let us stand strong together and stop the hate.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Black, and I am with Gamma Mu Phi Fraternity Incorporated, a SGO fraternity that was founded by black gay men about 17 years ago. And so today we wanted to offer up our condolences and stand in solidarity as a community. And as I woke up on Sunday and I began to think about the intersections of myself, and I could only reflect back on a movement that was started by some of my foreparents some 50 plus years ago. And it was a movement that is similar to the movement that we're fighting today as GLBT people. It was a movement for equality and simple civil rights. And I began to think about, for my community and for my foreparents, some of the things that happened during that movement as they were making progression. One of the great leaders that I know out of San Francisco and I count as a mentor, Bishop Yvette Flunder, has said for us as a GLBT community, the page is turning. And for us as a GBLT community, we can truly say today that we are making progress and the page is truly turning for us. And there are people out there that are not happy about that page turning for us. And so I thought about my foreparents and things that happened to them as the page was turning for equality and civil rights for them. Those people that were not for those civil rights and for them to have equality, they begin to attack their safe spaces. They begin to attack their homes. They begin to attack their churches. Those one places where they knew that they were safe. Those one places where they could celebrate who they were in totality. And we seen on this weekend in Orlando, Florida, the hatred doing just that. They're attacking our safe places, those places that we had as a community when HIV/AIDS was attacking our community. That's where we mourned, that's where we celebrated. In the face of sodomy laws, those were the places where we could go and be who we were in all of who we were. And on this weekend, we seen those spaces attacked. And one of the great leaders of that movement said that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I say to us today as a GBLT community, we will not stand for injustice anywhere. So on today, our organization at Gamma Blue 5, we stand in solidarity and say that love conquers hate, and we're committed as an organization to doing our part to conquer hate. Thank you.